All right, what is up, YouTube? I'm Cordy. We have a lot of regional deck profiles to cover in this video. So, first one is going to be from Brandon Dennis. He got 21st place with ABC Orcust at the Kentucky Regional. He actually did relatively well. His report, round 1, he played Mask Heroes, he won 2-0. Round 2 was against Altergeist, he won 2-0. Round 3 was against Necroz Incantation with Christia. He lost 1-2. Christia was very strong, he said. Round 4 was against Evil Eye Mekk-Knight. He lost 1-2. Artifact Sanctum resolving 3 times kinda hurts. Round 5, he 2-0'd Sky Striker. Round 6 was against Chamber and he won 2-0. Round 7 was against Dino, he won 2-1. Round 8, 2-0'd Striker. And then round 9, he played against Salad. He said banishing the normal summon really just kind of kills that deck. So let's kind of dig into this and kind of see what's going on here. So we have 2 copies of the A Assault Core. Pretty standard. I think a lot of people have wanted to cut this number down. Wanting to try to find more consistency here, because 9 pieces can actually really hurt. And I do agree with that logic. So 2A, we have 2 copies, or triple copies of B Buster Drake, and we have 2 copies of C Crush Wyvern. This is pretty standardized, actually. I don't see any problems with these numbers. We have triple copies of Ash Blossom of the Joyous Spring. We have triple copies of Effect Veiler, and then we have 2 Gold Gadget and 2 copies of Silver Gadget. Then we have 1 copy of the Torque Toon Gear. Once returned, you can either target 1 monster you control, equip this card to it, or unequip it and special summon it. Monster equipped with this card is treated as a tuner and will gain 500 attack and defense. Also, equipped monster will be destroyed by valid card effect. You can destroy this card instead. Actually, this card is really good. And then we, of course, have the Orcust package, which kind of grants us passive OTKs. So we have 1 copy of Orcust Symbol Skeleton, 1 copy of Harp Horror. We have 2 copies of the Orcust Nightmare, and we have 1 copy of the Wonder Wand for more OTKs. And then we have triple copies of our boy Phantasmi. Just who doesn't play this? And then, of course, we have 1 Ancient Cloak and 1 copy of the Silent Boots. Spells, we have 2 copies of Terraforming, 2 copies of Union Hanger, 2 copies of Twin Twister, triple copies of Called by the Grave. We have 2 copies of Instant Fusion. And then we have 1 Monster Reborn, 1 copy of Rank Up Magic Quick Launch, 1 Sword, and 1 Shade Brigadane. Down here in the extra deck, we have 1 copy of Mermaid, we have 1 copy of Phoenix, 1 copy of Cerberus, 1 Boral Sword, 1 Galtea. We have 1 Summon Sorceress, 1 Link Karibo, 1 copy of Rusty Tin Can, 1 Decode Talker, 1 Azathoth, and 1 copy of Time Thief Redoer, 1 Thousand Eyes Restrict, and triple copies of ABC Dragon Turd. And then the side deck here, we have 2 copies of Ghost Ogre, 2 copies of Brinkatops, 2 copies of Kumamungus, triple copies of Valencia, 1 copy of the Scythe, triple copies of Sanctum, and 2 copies of Red Reboot. Wrapping up this list, I say once again, shoutouts to the lab, Blackjack Jeremy Rivera, for letting me use letting him use money cards, and shout out to Alex Mondlak for talking him to the night before, convincing him not to play Salad and play this deck. Which, I mean, we've once again, that discussion about Orcust going in everything definitely is really starting to show. The more that this format has been kicking off, the more that we've seen that, hey, like, there's a lot of crazy stuff that you can do. And I actually really like the fact that you can literally play anything in this current format and be successful with it because of the Orcust engine. Remember, kids, if it's not broken, it's got to go. Oh, wait. It's broken. It should probably go. So yeah, congratulations, Brandon. It's really cool to see that ABC got the chance to do something, even if it is in 21st place. But I'm not going to let people talk shit on this one. I like this one. This is cool. Now, next up, we actually have Cyber Dragons. This list is actually from Alex Munlock. He went 7-1-1 with the deck. He said he drew to Salad. His loss was to Praying Kids in Time because they can burn and gain life. Other than that, he played a total of 4 Salad, 3 Sky Striker, and 1 Danger Thunder. Then Praying Kids. He 2-0'd all of them except for Salad. And then he drew against what he said. And then he said the new Cyber Dragons deserve all the hype it got. It made a real difference. And then he said he also wants to give a shout out to Team SSD and Jam1 TCG, who's his new sponsor and a good friend of his. So, Naxter, or Mr. Nibster here, as I like to call him, actually does a lot for this deck. Being able to discard and special summon this guy from your hand is absolutely amazing. They knew what they were doing when they wanted to put Cyber Dragon back on the map, and also the fact that this deck did top 8 definitely shows that a lot of people don't want to play more than 2 copies of Galaxy Soldier. I've also heard the, oh my god, you got to play 3 of this. It's absolutely staple. I don't think that to be the case. I understand why people think that, but come on now. Times change, mentalities change. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom. We have triple copies of Cyber Dragon. Hey, Cyber Buddy. We have triple copies of Cyber Dragon Core. And then we have triple copies of Hearse. We have triple copies of Nexter. We have 1 copy of Veer. And then we have triple copies of Effect Veiler, triple copies of Phantasme, and we have 2 copies of Galaxy Soldier. Spells, we have triple copies of Cyber Emergency. This card's been bought out for the 4th time. We have 2 copies of Cyber Repair Plant. We have 1 Rev System. We have 1 copy of Cyber Load Fusion. 1 copy of Foolish Barrel. Triple copies of the best card in your deck, Machine Dupe. And we have 1 1-for-1. 1 Overload Fusion, triple copies of Twin Twister, and 1 copy of Cybernetic Overflow. Down here in the extra deck, we have 1 Summon Sorceress, 1 Cleaford Genius, 1 Platinum Gadget, 1 copy of Link Karibo, 1 Gryffindor, 1 copy of Zeger, 2 copies of Nova, 2 copies of Infinity, and then we have 2 Chimeratech Rampage Dragon, 2 Mega Fleet, and 1 copy of Fortress Dragon. And then in the side deck here, we have triple Lancia, 1 Scythe, seems to be a lot of artifact stuff going around right now. We have triple Dino Wrestler Prankatops, 2 Ghost Ogre, triple copies of Shared Ride, and triple copies of Sanctum. Wrapping up this list. Alex, congratulations. I'm really glad to see that Cyber Dragons did very well. This is the first actual new list that I have seen actually top a regional. Nobody sent me any. I haven't gone specifically looking for information myself, but this is the first real one that I've got the chance to see. So that is actually really cool, and I really hope that you guys will take this at face value, give this deck a shot, and give Naxter some love, because this card is really good. And then last but not least, we got a Sky Striker list to talk about from Cody Campbell. He also wanted me to give a shout out to Team SSD and Jam 1 TCG, who are supporting him. So this ended up winning his regional, which, I mean, hey, it's Sky Striker. We've all come to know and understand this deck at this point. There's some really spicy tech choices here. We got the Silent Graveyard down here, discard a card effects that activate in the graveyard this turn are negated. That's actually really fucking good. And we've opted to include Summon Limit in the main deck. Also seeing up here that he is playing MST in the main, not Twin Twister. Interesting card choices. I know we've kind of come a long way off of Twin Twister, both it being good and bad, but there's a lot of interesting things here. So, we have triple copies of Ash Blossom. We have triple copies of Effect Veiler. I love Effect Veiler, this format. We have triple copies of Sky Striker Ray. Now, I personally don't like Called by the Grave, but I understand hand traps and other effects can fuck your day, but I do like this as a 2 of. 3 might be a bit too much. We have 2 copies of Foolish Burial Goods for dumping in the graveyard, 1 Metal Foes Fusion. We have 2 copies of MST, 1 copy of Rhoda, triple copies of Area Zero. I mean, we've pretty much have gone to the point now that this is a staple in this deck. We have 1 copy of Afterburners, 2 copies of Jamming Waves. This is a very interesting tech choice. I actually kind of like this. We have 2 copies of Eagle Booster. We have 1 copy of Hornet Drones, 1 Shark Cannon, triple copies of Widow Anchor, triple copies of Multi-Roll, and triple copies of Engage. Then we have 2 copies of Impermanence, 2 copies of Summon Limit in the main deck. Now down here in the extra deck, we have 1 Topological Bomber Dragon, triple copies of Shizuku, 2 copies of Kaina, triple copies of Kagari, triple copies of Hayate, 1 copy of Unicorn, 1 Phoenix, and we have 1 Boral Sword Dragon for those OTKs that we've all come to know and love. Side deck, we have 2 Lancia, triple copies of Brankatops, 1 Cosmic Cyclone, 2 copies of Silent Graveyard, 1 Shark Cannon, 2 copies of Different Dimension Ground, we have 2 copies of Heavy Storm Duster, and we have 2 Trap Trick. Wrapping up this bad boy. A lot of interesting tech choices across all these regional lists. I'm definitely very happy to see Cyber Dragon get the chance to do something. I'm very happy to see that ABC actually did something as well. And of course, I mean, we always got to throw in the 1 meta decks. Congratulations to all 3 of you. I definitely am pleased with these lists, and I'm sure most of you guys are. Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think about today's decks. I'd like to hear your guys' opinions thoughts on them, shit on them in the comments, talk good about them. What do you guys agree with? What do you guys disagree with? All right, guys, I'm out. Peace. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a truffle shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out Vanquil40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.